guys, it's Sasha. As you can see today, I'm shooting this video alone. That's because today I would like to tell you a story about my life, my family, my parents. As you know, me and Jay started YouTube in 2015, but until today I've never really told you anything about my life and my parents, and until now I've been getting so many questions about my dad and my mom, and I've been getting such questions like, why you never go back to Belarus, why you always stay in Korea, you're such a bad daughter, you never show your parents, like, don't you miss them, why do you say in your videos that you do not have a family? Why do you say that your cousin is your only family? And all kind of questions like that. So yeah, I think it's time I tell you from the beginning, at least about my parents. So I think I should start my story with my dad. So, to tell the truth, by document, I do not have a dad. But of course it wasn't always like that. I do have a biological dad and my mom was married with him, of course. But the problem is that when I was like 3 years old, my dad stopped living with our family, with me and my mom. He was not coming home, he was not supporting our family, and of course there were many other problems between him and my mom, many quarrels, so my mom couldn't stand it anymore and she decided to divorce. They divorced even before I went to elementary school, so I guess my dad wasn't really a good dad and he didn't really care about his child. But the things got even worse after that, because in my country, by the law, if your parents divorced and if you are not 18 years old, one of the parents have to pay you the child support. So since I stayed with my mom, he was supposed to pay me the child support, which he did not pay for many years. He has a huge debt even till nowadays. So that's when my mom went to court. She sued him and he was deprived of parental rights. And since then, by documents, I do not have a dad, I have only one parent, and after that, I've never seen him in my life. He never contacted me, and even before that, after my parents got divorced, kind of never called me, he never congratulated me with my birthday, he kind of didn't care, he didn't visit me, he didn't call me, he never gave me presents, maybe like once in few years, that's all. So I can say I've never had a dad in my life, and since then, for already like maybe 15 years, I've never heard of him. I don't know where he is now, I don't know if he is alive or not. Zero information about my dad. That's pretty much all I can tell you about my dad, so the end. And now I guess I need to tell you about my mom. Well, first of all, I think I should say that she passed away in 2018, and now let me tell you how did it happen, why did it happen. It's kind of a very hard topic for me. I had a depression after she passed away and it was very painful for me to talk about it before, so hopefully I can do it today. Well, first of all, I should say that after my parents got divorced, I think it's been very hard for my mom to live and provide for the family. My mom was working on 3 jobs. My mom is a teacher, but unfortunately, compared to Korea, you know, in Korea, teacher is a very respectful job and the payment, from what I know, is very good. In Belarus, teacher is kind of one of the not appreciated jobs and the payment is very low. So to survive with a child, my mom was working on 3 jobs. She was working at school, she was working at university, and she was also working as a tutor. And back then my mom was earning maybe like around $300 a month, which is not enough to tell the truth, especially for 2 people. So yeah, she was a very hard working woman. Also, she was a very supportive parent, and when I met Jay, she was very excited to meet him. And as you know, he did come to Belarus, he did come to see me in 2015, and that's when my mom met him. She loved Jay a lot, she was calling him her son. She was supporting our relationship and she was very happy for me in 2016 I've graduated from high school, and I decided to go to Korea, to move to Korea, to get my education in Korea. And she supported me. She paid for my language courses in Korea, which was very expensive for our family. I did save money for 3 years for my plane tickets to Korea, so it was a kind of a big dream for me and Jay, of course. And my mom saw it, so she did her best to help me achieve my dream. So in 2016 I'm moving to Korea. I'm going to university. First I had to finish language courses since education is in Korean language, so I had to learn Korean language first. So at first everything was perfect. I think I was the happiest person in this world. I met Jay, I moved to Korea, I was going to Korean university, I was studying Korean language. That's all I wanted back then. You know, I'm 18 years old, full of dreams. So since I moved to Korea, you know, my mom kind of became free because she didn't have to take care of me anymore. She could finally live for herself. And my mom, she had a huge dream for many years. She always wanted to move to Europe. She wanted to work in Europe. And since I left, you know, she's got a chance. She started actually thinking about it, like maybe she should try, you know, make your dream come true as well. So I guess it was the timing, which is actually very fun. You will understand later why. So there was one woman who was going to Italy, who is working in Italy and lives in Italy for many years. And somehow my mom met this woman, and that woman said she's going to Italy again. And if you want, you can go with me, so I can help you there. I can help you find a job and we'll go together. Like, you know, it's much easier, of course. My mom got that opportunity and she agreed. She agreed to go to Italy with that woman. I was very happy for my mom, to be honest. Like everything was working out so well, you know, the fact that she's finally living for herself and the fact that she also made her dream come true. I was hoping, you know, since my mom is now living in Italy, working in Italy, learning Italian language, I was like, maybe she will find a man, maybe she will get married again. I'm sorry. I really didn't want to cry. You know, thinking about this from the beginning, it's pretty hard. I was hoping that she will live a happy life. But, as you know, that's not how life works. Like, everything was just too perfect, you know. I was so happy, I was living the life of my dream. Same goes for my mom. And then in spring, she started talking about that maybe she will go back to Belarus and like rest a little bit, because she has a temperature for already a few weeks and she doesn't feel well, that she lost weight, and just she had some symptoms which she thought it's not really something serious. So she just wanted to go back to Belarus and go to hospital, because in Belarus hospitals are free and all the treatments are free. So she decided to go back to Belarus. I didn't really think it's something serious, because that's how she made it sound, that, you know, I'm just gonna go for a week or two and come back as fast as I can. But she never went back. So she went back to Belarus and she went to hospital. And one day she called me. She already did get that checkup. She already knew the results. And she kind of didn't tell me for like a week or two. She was keep saying, it's not important. Just forget about it. It's nothing. And I kind of guessed what can it be, that it can be cancer. And I asked her, so is it cancer? She said yes. But we all know that there are 4 stages, right? So I asked her, which one is it? And of course I was expecting to hear like 1st stage or 2nd. But she says it's the last one. And that's when my life just got divided on before and after. Like, I was in shock. I couldn't even say anything. I think people who went through the similar thing will understand me. This feeling. And then just, I think my life just turned into a hell. I was supporting my mom as much as I could. I was telling her that everything is gonna be okay, that people still do survive. I was like doing researches, I was sending her videos, I was telling her how important is it to think positive. Well, the treatment started. She started getting a chemotherapy. She started getting her treatments. At some point she got better. Her blood results and everything got a little bit better. So I really thought there is a hope. And of course I gave up on idea going to university. I knew I have to work. So I did finish my language courses. And then I went to work. I went into a model agency, into entertainment. I started working because I need to help my mom, and I was hoping that I'm gonna earn some money and I will bring her to Korea. Since I'm in Korea, I have a house. It's gonna be okay. I just need to work hard, save money so I can help my mom with treatments and maybe send her for treatments to Europe or Korea since I'm here. That was my main plan. I forgot about education, and that's actually the reason why I didn't get education. For a year I was working very hard. I couldn't come back to Belarus because since my mom is sick and she's not working, they were living on my granny's money, the pension, which is also very, very low. They could hardly, afford. Just, it was very hard for them to live on that money together. And if I go back, I have no education. I cannot work, and Belarus is not Korea where you have all the cafes and shops and pillagem and you can go and work anywhere you want and earn decent money. Back then there were like few coffee shops in the whole city. I'm not from the capital, so back then there was really nothing. Nowadays of course it's getting better, but we don't have this culture, of some small jobs for teenagers, and I was only 18. So I knew if I go back to Belarus, I'm just gonna make everything much harder for my family, for my granny and for my mom. I'm completely useless, and that I just need to stay here and work as hard as I can to help them out. My mom was getting treatments for maybe like half a year, maybe like 7-8 months. And then at some point, she just gave up. She didn't want to take pills anymore. She just gave up and she lost the hope. And of course after that she started getting worse and worse. And then one day my cousin Vanya, he called me and he said that, doctors are saying that your mom doesn't have much time left, that you should come. And that's when I realized, things are getting really serious. Because my mom, she wasn't telling me anything. Like, yes, I'm just lying down, I'm fine, just like always. She never told me the truth. She was hiding everything from me because she knew that I'm gonna be worried. And when I told her that I'm coming, she didn't want me to come. She didn't want me to see her like that. So yeah, she didn't want me to come, but I did. I just bought the tickets for this close states, of course with Jay, and we went to Belarus. Of course, when I came back and when I saw my mom in that condition, my heart just broke. It was very painful for me to see her like that. And then we stayed there for 1 month. Exactly 1 month. That was a horror. I wouldn't wish it even to my enemies. I think only people who went through the similar situation can understand. It was very hard. It was very painful and very hard. And then after a month, she passed away. It's been 6 years. And as you can see, it's still painful. And I don't think it will ever get any easier. And you know, I've been thinking about it a lot. What if I didn't go to Korea back then? Would she be still alive? Maybe she wouldn't go to Italy, and then she would go to hospital earlier, and maybe, you know, she would stop it and get treatments. Maybe if I didn't go to Korea, everything would be fine and she would be alive. So I was kind of blaming myself for her death. That it's all my fault. It's because I came here. Maybe I just had to stay in Belarus and get my education there. Maybe everything would be fine. And then also this situation with this woman who was going to Italy. Maybe if she wouldn't meet that woman, maybe if she wouldn't go to Italy, she would also be fine. And you know, there's so many if, what if, what if. Of course we never know, because this is life. Maybe it just meant to happen, maybe just meant to be. So I lost my only family at 19 years old. She passed away when I was 19 years old, and I stayed completely alone in this world, and I have only Jay. And I do have my cousin Vanya. I often say he is my only family, and I have my own reasons for that. First of all, our family was very small from the very beginning. My granddad passed away, my great-grandmother passed away, my mom passed away. I'm not keeping in touch with anyone from my family. And yeah, that's my story. I do not have parents. I do not have a dad since I was 3 years old, and I lost my mom at 19 years old. And I only have Jay in my life. It's my first time telling you about it. Thank you for listening to my story. And I would just like to give you some advice. You know, just appreciate every moment you have with your parents and family members. Don't ignore their calls. Tell them that you love them as much as you can, because they're not gonna be here with us forever, and we never know when is it gonna happen. So just go and hug them and tell them how much you love them. That was my story. Now you know a little bit more about me. You know the truth about my family, and the reason why I always say I don't have anyone left. That's why I'm so thankful to you guys, because you know, you're supporting me and you give us so much love. So I'm really thankful to you. I love you so much. Take care of yourself, and we will be back with more positive videos than this one. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.